Let's just stick there with Kenya, where the KCB Group, one of Kenya's largest banking services companies, says it processed more than 500 billion shillings in loans related to the environment and social projects in the region. Reporting earlier today on its sustainability activities for the 2024 financial year, the top executives of the KCB Group outlined key investments in energy, climate, and more. Let's take a listen.
Our commitment is grounded in a simple principle that every step we take and we drive meaningful impact and ensure no one is left behind as we build a better today together. Allow me to create some context and make observations of the contents that you'll find in the report so that you understand for KCB, this is the journey that we've come so far, and we'll also speak to some of the things that we are doing in future. And then our group CEO will shed a bigger picture. We are gathered here at a time of profound contradiction. Our global economic engine, the very system that drives growth and has lifted millions, is now fundamentally undermining the natural and social foundations upon which it depends. As we share our milestones today, I invite everyone here to reflect on the challenge before us. And the challenge before us is not the change that we must make, but the leadership that we must do as a financial institution that is sustainable conscious. At the heart of today's forum is scaling green and inclusive enterprises for social economic transformation, calling on all of us to move from the funding mentality of the economy to financing the economy that we need. I'll quote the words of Donella Meadows, one of the world's foremost environmental thinkers, who urged us to downgrade the importance of economics in our thinking. And for a banker, that might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but the message was not to dismiss commerce. It was to say, let's redefine its purpose. In a world that is facing crisis of climate change and inequality, our role as a financial institution must evolve beyond profit generation. It is about channeling capital towards progress, where finance fuels purpose and growth and is measured not only in returns, but the impact that it has in inclusion and sustainability. At KCB Group, sustainability is about fundamentally embedding environmental, social, and governance principles in the very heart of the things that we do every day. We are driven by the profound understanding that the actions we take today are foundational to shaping the world of tomorrow. This conviction prompted us to redefine our approach to sustainability, focusing on high-impact areas that align with our core values and that is impacting people for better. To ensure that our efforts are aligned with the global agenda, we anchored our commitment to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by tracking progress through 60 performance indicators aligned with the group's adopted 14 of 17 SDGs. This has thus enabled the group to advance financial inclusions, support MSMEs and women-led enterprises, to investing in renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, affordable housing, education, and clean water, and I'll be sharing examples of this. Through these commitments, we're driving deeper, meaningful impact for people, for the planet, and for prosperity for all. The strategic focus manifests itself across our operations in addressing the ESG framework, and I will be speaking to the environmental and social pillar. In the environmental pillar, we've see this as a pivotal moment to understand the challenges that we are facing that demand both ambition and action. Our response is clear and unwavering to achieving net zero emissions, an ambition that we have across our entire operations that has led us to think about how we are financing and the portfolio, our financial portfolio, all the way to 2050, an ambition that we have. This begins by the bank being committed to responsible lending, in which we have been able to screen loans totaling to 578 billion. And this underscores a commitment to embedding environmental and social risk management at the very core of our lending operations. It means that before we finance a project, we are assessing its potential impact on the ecosystem and the communities in which we exist. And this has led the bank to identify opportunities which, as I stand here today, 21.3 of our entire loan book is now dedicated to green financing, which translates to over 160 billion from when we started tracking.
I doubt that they had a report or that matrices about sustainability as what we have today. So we're lucky. But I bet they knew they wanted to be here for long. And they had their own unique matrices at that point. And like I always stress, if you're ambitious, then you will be there beyond that 129 years. So we are lucky to lead an institution. Somebody one day, 129 years ago, decided that they're going to set it going. But for us, this report, themed Impactful Action for Sustainable Growth, tells the story of an institution that is not just about profits, but about people and the planet. Sally and Irungu, we want to make profits. I don't want you to worry there. We want to pay you dividends. So, but we must make that responsibly, and we must make those dividends sustainable. It is not in doubt that we are navigating a world of immense complexity and a world where economic imperatives are inextricably linked with social equity and environmental stewardship. In this context, sustainability is not a side project, but the engine that powers how we think, how we plan, and execute. As a result, we have embedded ESG principles into everything we do, from lending decisions and procurement policies to staff engagement and product innovation. I think in a number of instances, if you ask me, and I'm a bit of a reflector and a brainstormer, there's a lot that we do beyond Kenya, and maybe in the video we should have had a little bit of the region in the videos. Whether it is what we do in Rwanda, the things that we do in Tanzania, Uganda, South Sudan. As a matter of fact, now that I've mentioned South Sudan, is probably one of the strong use cases for partnering with a partner for sustainability. Those of you who are lucky to have visited Juba, you'll understand that it's only a few years ago that they started getting power, moving away from generators. And the largest solar plant is by one of our clients, and it's on the grid for Juba. So while I think we're punching big in Kenya, we're actually making statements in the region as well. So I think it's important that that story is also told. Today I want to speak to you about the bedrock upon which we are building our legacy: a strong governance, a commitment to transparency and accountability that is as solid as the financial foundation we have built over the last 129 years. It's not a narrative, but the very lens through which we view our purpose and our path forward. And I think Mark did speak to quite a number of statistics. We continue to track that. As I said earlier on, we continue to assure that, because I think the bigger risk today, PS, is greenwashing. And the reason why we have Deloitte here is we just don't want to report numbers. We want to embed, but we want to report what is actual, and we want to build onto that. The worst thing is ever to lead an institution, and we've seen institutions being penalized on greenwashing. So we will continue to partner with other parties to actually look at what to report and to find ways to improve that. But those who've heard me speak about, a number of times about KCB, at the heart of whether it's sustainability or the heart of the institution is governance. There is absolutely no number 2 pillar for KCB other than governance. We have to continue to lead from the front on governance, whether it is in decision making, whether it's aligning strategy across the group, whether it is ensuring sustainability. The board oversight to daily business operations is critical for us. Over the past year, we have strengthened our internal governance frameworks, aligned policies and risk management systems with international sustainability standards. Our journey is guided by the world's most robust frameworks and alliances. And now allow me to use big words. We are proud to be aligned with the Net Zero Banking Alliance, Global Reporting Initiatives, GRI, United Nations Environmental Programme Finance Initiative, UNEP-FI, United Nations Global Compact, and the Task Force on Nature-Related Financial Disclosures, TNFD.